Right now, we're going to take another live look at the Vatican, where it is a very, very somber Monday. Nearly 4 hours ago, we learned that Pope Francis had died. While the Catholic world remembers the first Latin American Pope, many Catholics are now asking, what's next?
NBC's Alice Barr is joining us live with more of the Pope and the future of the Catholic Church. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, and we're hearing condolences from leaders all over the world. You know, it was only just yesterday that Pope Francis greeted supporters from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica to celebrate Easter services. Those cheers that we heard from the crowd now giving way to an outpouring of grief. From the White House, we've just gotten a brief statement saying, "Rest in peace, Pope Francis," with pictures of President Trump and Vice President Vance meeting with Pope Francis over the years. And for Vice President Vance, just over the past hours, he met with the Pope just yesterday and posted that his heart goes out to the millions of Christians all over the world who loved him, saying he was happy to see him, though he was obviously very ill, and adding, "May God rest his soul." That brief Easter meeting during the vice president's foreign travel came after Pope Francis sharply criticized the Trump administration's mass deportation policies that he said would violate the dignity of migrants whose care became a key focal point of his papacy, along with advocating for the poor, the marginalized, the environment, and for peace, including in Gaza and in Ukraine. The president of Ukraine, among the world leaders just across Europe, across the Middle East, across the globe, who are all reacting and honoring the Pope's mission, his humility. And Italy's prime minister is among those calling Pope Francis a friend, saying his advice and teachings never failed, even in moments of trial and suffering. And this, of course, is now one of those moments for millions of Catholics and for all those who were moved by and now mourning the people's Pope.
Alice, we know that there's a possibility that an America could be in line to become the next Pope. My question to you is, what now happens?
Right. So this Pope Francis was the first from the Americas. He was the first Latin American Pope to have been selected. And there's an open question now about who will succeed him. This is setting in motion the centuries-old process of electing the new Pope. We don't know exactly the timing. Traditionally, within 4 to 6 days is the funeral for a Pope after he passes. And then there is the conclave. The cardinals are all summoned to a meeting at the Vatican, and then they will have that election known as the conclave. Between the time of the Pope's death and the election of his successor, the College of Cardinals governs the church. And then there is that strictly secret process that happens inside the Sistine Chapel when literally it's smoke signals is the only way we have any kind of indication about what's happening in there as they discuss among themselves who should be the next leader of the Catholic Church. And it's a momentous decision in many ways, particularly because Pope Francis was known for being such a reformer and for advocating in a lot of progressive ways. And now there's this moment when the church could continue in that direction or could perhaps reverse or could change course, because there were, of course, progressives who championed Pope Francis's direction that he was taking the church to be a more inclusive body. But there were a lot of traditionalists and conservatives who were rattled by a lot of what Pope Francis did and chose to do. And so this is a moment for evaluating which direction now the church wants to head.
Right, certainly a lot of eyes will be watching in the coming days. Alice Barr reporting live for us in Washington. Alice, thank you.